playback. Let me see if I can hear you.
How has life treated you since Tucker Carlson ruined your career?
Got him! What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Mike Pence wants to run for president, but he doesn't want to see the reality that is before him, that he is seen as a traitor by his own party, and that his own party is deeply loyal to Donald Trump, including and especially in my home state of Iowa, where the vast majority of people say that they will vote for Donald Trump, especially if he's in prison, because everyone wants to vote for the political prisoner, Nelson Mandela. Anyone? Check this out. Here is the Donald Trump polling from Iowa. Iowa Republicans, who will you vote for if Trump is the 2024 nominee? Are you kidding me? Look at this. Total and complete domination. And it is Mike Pence who is seen as a total Judas and somebody who has betrayed Donald Trump. And Mike Pence got called out at the Iowa State Fair badly. Mike Pence gets asked why he's a traitor at the Iowa State Fair, and it's awkward. Check this out.
I truly do believe we could have an election that would not just be a victory, but it could literally change the course of the country back to what we've always known, makes America strong and true and free. Next. Yes, sir. Boston.
Yes. My question is this. Why did you commit treason on January 6th and not stand by President Trump?
I'm a veteran, buddy. Shut your mouth.
I'm just...
It's a fair question. Look, come on, people. That's why I came.
Look, I'm just giving you the question.
No, I got you. I'll answer your question. Look, let me take you to January 20th, 2017. I put my left hand on Ronald Reagan's Bible and I raised my right hand. And I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And it ended with a prayer. So help me God. My son, who's a captain in the United States Marine Corps, reminded me one time that it's the exact same oath that he took. It was a promise I made to the American people. It was a promise I made to Almighty God. Now, I know you might have a different impression about what my duties and responsibilities were on January 6th.
I really don't.
And I'm happy to talk to you about it.
Said.
The truth is that states conduct our elections. They do. And once Iowa certifies the elections, when there are questions, you can go to court. Our campaign in 2020 had more than 60 lawsuits in courts around the country. There were also states that conducted recounts under the law. But when all that was done, if you read Article 2 of the Constitution, which I recommend to you very respectfully, Article 2 says once the states send their electoral votes to the Congress of the United States, the Vice President, as President of the Senate, will preside over a joint session of Congress. And what it says is at that joint session, the electoral votes shall be open and shall be counted. It doesn't say may. It doesn't say you can send them back to the states. It doesn't say you can reject votes. Even though my former running mate and many of his outside lawyers told me that that authority was there, I knew there never was. I mean, look, there's almost no idea more un-American than the notion that any one person could pick the American president. I mean, the American presidency belongs to the American people and the American people alone. And I'll always believe, by God's grace, I did my duty that day. I truly believe it.
Fair enough.
And it's among the reasons I step forward today, because I truly do believe it. People deserve to know that on that day, the former president asked me to choose him over my oath to the Constitution. I chose the Constitution, and I always will. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess kudos to Mike Pence for standing up and taking actual questions, but he's wrong, by the way. Mike Pence is 100% wrong. There are obviously constitutional recommendations for when states can't come to an agreement on their own electoral vote. This is something that is written down inside of our Constitution and has actually happened before in an election in the late 1800s where they made a compromise and a different guy got to be president because of a slate of electors. I believe it was from the state of Ohio. In fact, in 2005, a bunch of Democrats gathered in order to flip the state of Ohio over to John Kerry, and they tried this exact process. Didn't end up working out, but that didn't stop him from trying to get the vice president to send back the slate of electors. In fact, so many low IQ people know about this that even CNN is able to report on this. That one of the dumbest people at CNN, Van Jones.
Federal law says all election disputes at the state level need to be wrapped up by December 8th so the electors can cast their ballots on December the 14th. Now, each state governor has got to certify the electors' votes and then send them on to Congress. So the results aren't official until the new Congress counts those ballots on January the 6th.
Oh.
Now, it's usually a straightforward process, but let's say one of the candidates questions the legitimacy of the state's count. The governor could choose not to certify the electors' votes. Or, though this is really unlikely, the state legislature could decide to contest the election and send a different count to Congress, meaning Congress could end up with no results or with competing results from the same state. Now, that's a violation of federal law, so Congress would no longer have to honor that state's electors at all. Now, the House and the Senate can then decide which result is valid or throw out the votes from that state altogether. Now, I know you think I'm crazy, but this actually happened.
Hey!
It was 1876, shortly after the Civil War. Samuel Tilden won the popular vote, but there were 19 electoral votes in dispute. Congress had to step in and broker a compromise. Rutherford Hayes was eventually named president in exchange for the end of Reconstruction and the withdrawal of federal troops from the South.
Hey!
Here's where things get even more interesting. If a candidate still doesn't have a majority of electoral votes by the end of this process, the 12th Amendment says the House of Representatives decides who will be president, and each state delegation gets one vote. The Senate picks a vice president. No matter what happens.
So, even low information Van Jones knows that this is our system, even though it is very rarely executed. It has actually happened in American history. And Mike Pence could have said, whoa, your votes are extremely dodgy. We're going to send these back to the states, and you got to figure your own crap out. Mike Pence better figure out his own stuff because he's getting just completely, utterly destroyed on the campaign trail. This wasn't the only embarrassing moment for Mike Pence at the Iowa State Fair. Mike Pence was shouted down for having his career ended by Tucker Carlson. Check this out.
Let me see if I can hear you.
How has life treated you since Tucker Carlson ruined your career?
This is of course Tucker Carlson saying that America is getting really, really bad and we should stop sending money to Ukraine, and Mike Pence being like, that's not my concern.
You know, I had a very sporty debate with that former talk show host from Fox. And I will tell you, you know, when some people put out a video from that cut off the back half of my answer, I simply tweeted the whole 3 minutes and said, you know, we used to call that fake news.
Oh, okay, got it.
Look, there's a lot of talk about Ukraine and U.S. support in Ukraine, and I know old Tucker's been against U.S. support there from the very beginning. But let me tell you something, I've met Vladimir Putin. Ooh. Anybody that thinks Vladimir Putin's going to stop if he overruns Ukraine has got another thing coming.
Oh, yes, Vladimir Putin's going to invade NATO, right, and start nuclear war. Okay, well, then he's just a suicidal maniac. So stupid. I'm so tired of these straw man arguments. I'm so tired of it, and so are the American people, man. People are just roasting Mike Pence wherever he goes. Trump supporters are heckling Mike Pence. This is what should be happening all over the country. This was a very interesting clip. Mike Pence walking around the state fair, not having a good go of things. Watch this.
2024. Every day. Pence is a traitor. Anybody that says he has a higher power uses those words. He is not a Christian when you say higher power. We don't buy it as believers, Pence. You are far from a Christian. Far from a believer. Look at that. Take a good photo. Right here. This is the winner. And y'all know it. That guy, traitor.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, so people are upset. And they have every right to be upset. I mean, quite frankly. Mike Pence is coming out and going hard against Donald Trump. It is not a great look This guy was obviously the only reason that Mike Pence has any relevance in the party at all left is Donald Trump. He selected Mike Pence to be his vice president, not once but twice. A dozen some Trump supporters approached Mike Pence in New Hampshire, saying that he's a traitor, he's a sellout. Why didn't you uphold the Constitution? Pence said, I upheld the Constitution, and they said, read it. Yeah. It's just not a good look. Listen, man, listen. All of the text of the Constitution aside, whether you think that Pence has the moral obligation to send back the votes or not, you can say that it is a terrible look for Mike Pence to come out against Donald Trump and then run against Donald Trump and to bash America and say that it's not his concern what's happening in America. It's a terrible campaign. Mike Pence also fake filled up his truck the other day, didn't know how to pump gas. It's an absolute dumpster fire of a campaign. Mike Pence is a joke. He should drop out now. He'll be dropping out soon. He has no money. Why is he running? Well, because the neocons need a candidate. They need people to come after Trump and try and damage Trump. They're throwing the whole kitchen sink at Trump, which makes people like Trump more. Don't you understand how this all works? Nope. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe to end communism and Mike Pence's presidential campaign. See ya.